Welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be talking about one of the all-time classics in the horror genre, Freddy vs. Jason. Now of course this film came out in the golden age of horror movies, the early 2000s, where we got masterpieces such as Halloween Resurrection starring Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks.
So you want to be on Dangertainment? Let's see what you got.
And of course not to forget Jason X, a true sci-fi classic worthy of going head to head with Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey. Now in all seriousness, the majority of great slasher and horror movies ceased to exist after the 90s, as there was a permanent shortage of great ideas leading up to the year 2000. Now since ideas were a bit scarce, what did they decide to do? That's right, they decided to ramp up the gore, add some techno and house music, cast some blondes with big, and of course attempt to play around with new space age technology such as a GoPro. Now Freddy vs. Jason by all means isn't awful, right? It's actually a pretty good time, and if you are aware of how stupid the franchises are, then you know what you're getting yourself into. And with Friday the 13th, the films are just alright. Some of them more entertaining than the others, and if you guys are aware or have seen the movies, you know what I mean. But when it comes to Nightmare on Elm Street, the original was a true work of art by Wes Craven. I mean, it was terrifying. I just watched it last week, and even as an adult it still terrifies me. And after that, unfortunately, the films kinda got a little shit. This film was directed by Ronnie Yu, also the guy behind The Bride of Chucky.
What would Martha Stewart say?
Fuck Martha Stewart! Martha Stewart can kiss my shiny plastic butt!
So you know what to expect. So the gist of the story is essentially Freddy Krueger revives Jason from the dead by pretending to be his mother, and both parties rack up a whole bunch of kills throughout the film until a certain point where Freddy gets pissed at Jason for stealing his victims, and then the main characters decide to bring Jason and Freddy together to kill each other. And I do use the term character quite loosely because they are as bland as boiled chicken breast. Now as expected, this is one big cliched attempt at a horror movie back in the 2000s, and the intro essentially sums it up. And just to back my point up about the clichédness of this film, we also have that naked teenage girl swimming in a lake at night, hiding yourself in the worst possible place, the classic jump scare, and of course the shitty 10 frames per second shots that became a staple in this genre. Like, who decided that was a good idea? I mean, honestly, that is one of my biggest pet peeves in any action scenes or films that use that shitty frames. Like, anything under 30 frames is just horrid. It should not be in any movie. Like, who made that a staple? Like, seriously, get that shit out of here. Alright, so moving on, we're introduced to our characters, and I just love how she flicks a cigarette at Jason. I mean, at this point, you're just asking for it, bitch. They even have the audacity to attempt to give some depth to the main character.
You were fucking 14, so get over it. Yeah, I know we were young, but what Will and I had was real.
But in the end, we truly don't give a shit about any of them, and throughout the entire movie, I was just rooting for Freddy and Jason to rack up as many kills as they could, because that was honestly the most entertaining part of the film.
You know about feng shui?
Oh, you should see her bedroom. Great flow in there. Lori, won't you go upstairs and show Blake your feng shui?
Yeah guys, feng shui, it's really important, otherwise you're gonna get a ton of bad luck and curses and whatnot, right? It is honestly the most pathetic attempt at a filler scene, because I can just imagine the writers struggling to figure out how to write a script that would last 90 minutes for this half-assed attempt at a movie. And Yeah, guys, let's just put in some lines and dialogue about feng shui, right? Yeah, great filler. Now, I gotta give credit where it's due, because the one thing they got right is the kills. It is pretty entertaining and over the top. I think the writers are also somewhat aware of how stupid these characters are, because we have this annoying chick that's really annoying and she gets absolutely roasted, and it really is a good scene.
I always pictured you as a straight up bedwetter.
You know what, Kia? I used to think you hated me because you thought I wasn't good enough for Lori. But that's not it. See, you tear me down to make yourself feel better because you really hate yourself, which is kind of pathetic when you actually stop and think about it, assuming, of course, you can think, with all that makeup weighing down your head.
Boom. Roasted.
So one of the douchebags gets murdered and everyone just screams and runs out of the house like absolute psychos, and this cop guy, who's the, you know, the main cop guy of every horror slasher movie, yeah, he was making his rounds, and then when he saw these psychos, he calmly asked them,
You kids need some assistance?
so the acting is surprisingly not garbage.
Your father's on his way.
Do they know who did this?
No, not yet.
But I thought I heard one of the officers mention a name.
Maybe just a little. Our beloved character soon finds out that yet another one of their friends got murdered, and I want you guys to take a look at each one of their reactions.
He was stabbed to death late last night. Same with his dad. What? Shit! This is bullshit!
Alright, so we jump forward to the cornfield rave. Yeah, the cornfield rave. Jason gets a pretty sick kill, which pissed off Freddy, as that was his victim to touch and kill. But eventually Jason gets confronted by two stoned idiots.
Why don't you go find yourself a pig to fuck?
Yeah, invite only corn poke, and you weren't invited.
Son of a bitch.
As I said, very entertaining, and we also get award-winning scenes like Guy coming out from the tub.
That's why I needed Jason to kill for me to get them to remember. But now he just won't stop. That's hot.
So the characters gather in some place, and the cop guy of the movie sits down and gives us yet another giant exposition about everything we already knew. And this kind of reminded me of Halloween 2018, where the first hour or so, where every character's job was to explain everything that happened in the original, and after that, and discard all the sequels because, you know, they were trying to make part 2 and all that stuff, which we were aware of, and it's just really annoying. Like, please stop that. At least figure out a more clever way to physically tell a more coherent story without sitting us down and telling us everything, you know, spoon feeding us. It really is ridiculous. So the big plan is to head over to the mental asylum to get some pills called Hypnosil to block out dreams so Freddy Krueger can't, you know, murder them. And to help out the cause, one of this dude gets high, and we get this really weird but amazing scene.
Nice.
I mean, so Freddy possesses the high kid, and in an attempt to drug Jason, he gets chopped in half, but it was worth it because at an hour and 4 minutes, we finally get the encounter between Jason and Freddy. The fight itself is shot like shit, but it's bloody entertaining nonetheless, and the pinball scene is essentially the icing on the cake. They then bring Jason into their van so that they could head over to Camp Crystal Lake so that he has the home advantage to take down Freddy. I mean, what could go wrong? This is an absolutely brilliant plan, guys. absolutely brilliant. So this annoying chick attempts to stop Jason, but then she gets absolutely yeeted. Round 2. Fight. I can't lie, it's pretty damn entertaining, especially paired up with that punk rock rebel music that, you know, teenagers rock out to and get high while taking a few bumps, if you know what I mean. Yo. The annoying chick just cannot catch a break as she eventually confronts Freddy, and they have an interesting exchange of dialogue.
How sweet. Dark meat.
What kind of faggot runs around in a Christmas sweater? I mean, come on, get real. You're not even scary. You're not even scary.
And then gets absolutely ripped. I think that was the best scene of the movie, hands down. Round 3. Fight. Jason takes a massive beatdown, pierced with some metal rods, blood oozing everywhere. What is he gonna do? Don't worry, the pedophile gets caught on some ropes. They both get hit with a freight. Jason counters with a few nasty slices, but gets his fingers chopped. And now Freddy is on the offense with a great little pierce through the eyes. A dirty tactic, but effective nonetheless. But look, in the distance, it's our dumb blonde coming in hot. Quite literally, ready to burn down the bridge. Boom, an explosion takes place. Our characters thinks it's over, but no, it's Freddy holding onto Jason's machete, ready to slice and dice. But a final poetic blow from Jason with Freddy's butter paws finally ends the reign of both serial killers. Oh, I also love how her makeup is perfectly in place and just looking absolutely fresh after the huge battle where she was tossed into the water with sweat and blood and dirt. And yeah, her makeup is perfectly fine. I mean, that's some gypsy shit right there. Freddy vs. Jason, it is truly a work of art by Ronnie Yu. Definitely worthy of your time. Go buy the Blu-ray, the DVD, or if it's easier for you, just go to Pirate Bay. As always, thank you for watching. Leave your comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao. Oh my god, the feng shui was wrong, man. Put it this way.